We are setting out to explore one of the most astonishing stories in the natural world. A remarkable evolutionary story that spans over 320 million years. How the very first flyers overcame the pull of gravity and took to the skies.
Conquest of the Skies is a three-part series that tells the story of the evolution of flight. It begins 300 million years ago, when insects first took to the skies. Then, we follow the reptilian rivals that challenge that status quo, before finally meeting the victorious birds that dominate the skies today.
Each scene gives you a little glimpse into a creature's life, and you get to share their perspective and get up close and personal. Collectively, these scenes come together and tell the story of transcendence. It's nature unshackling itself from gravity, in my eyes. And that's what I really wanted to kind of communicate with the storytelling, that theme of transcendence that we try and pull throughout the entire series. And I think it's most apparent in the introduction sequences, where you're flying through this ethereal landscape. We see particles forming creatures and nature, but it's almost as if those forms they're adhering to are evolving as we see them. And as you keep moving through this ethereal landscape, it gradually transforms into the real world, which is where the real story begins. The first episode, we would start quite low to the ground, and in the intro for the second episode, we're a little bit higher, and in the third episode, we are flying over the tree lines. These were little visual hints I tried to give to convey a sense of growth throughout. I think it's an important thing in an immersive format to really share the perspective of the subject in front of you. I felt it was important to really stay connected with nature all along and not really introduce the human aspect whatsoever. So even in the urban settings, the audio and the atmosphere of the things you'll see around you, for example in the restaurant, there are hints of humanity around us, but you're never really quite aware of them.
This series was formed from many different layers, and so the challenge for us all was putting something cohesive together from so many different formats. The archive material that we utilized was originally captured for television, so we had to work around this and devise a lot of new techniques, both technically and creatively, to make sure that the images we were eventually delivering were genuinely going to be immersive in a headset. There's also a lot of CG in the series for the introduction sequences, but also for the dinosaur scenes. We shot on location to capture our time lapses and background plates for the Dimorphodon and Archaeopteryx dinosaurs, and we also developed custom rigs for our moving shots over the river and around the forests.
My favorite aspect of this series is how it's a story of evolution being told in a format that's so young and new. And I feel like it's a powerful thing when the story you're trying to tell really resonates with the format it's being told in.